Hello, in these extraordinary times. I do hope you're all doing really well, you and your loved ones. And I hope you enjoyed the Easter weekend. I really just want to say a heartfelt thank you to you, the Bond fans. It's been an incredible experience, well, being part of the whole Bond setup in the first place. A lot of people have asked me over the years, what are the best things that have come out of being in the Bond films? And really I would say that when you are part of, I was lucky to be in 2 James Bond films as Miss Moneypenny, 2 of Tim's films, you join a community. And I don't mean the Broccolis, I don't mean the Bond producers community, I mean an extraordinary community of creatives and of fans and of aficionados and of anyone who's worked on it from the technical point of view. You just join this sort of worldwide family. And all sorts of surprising things come from that. And one of the most surprising was being contacted to ask if I wanted to be part of Warren Ringham's extraordinary concerts, the Q, the music show. And it's been such a privilege because, well, I think one of the main reasons I joined is because he puts his heart and soul into this creation. It's not just it's not about business for Warren. It's about his love of the music. It's about his love of musicians and musicianship. It's an expression of his creativity, and so the standard is, as you all know, exceptional. He really gets the most fantastic musicians. He creates a wonderful team and he looks after everybody. He knows and loves his musicians, and he creates this incredible atmosphere that I think comes across in the theatres during his shows. So not only is it incredibly entertaining, it's informative, but it also has a heart. And so I know how upset Warren was when the thought that this terrible pandemic might actually destroy the years of work and love that he has put into creating Cue the Music, and hardship. He's put his own money on the line to really try and make this work. And there was for a moment a feeling that all might be lost. And he felt for all his musicians, he felt for all the family that he's created. And then, as you know, he decided to create a GoFundMe page, and you, the Bond fans, stepped up in the most wonderful way and have helped create a fund that Warren has been able to use to help those of us who are, creatives, self-employed. Without these shows, people don't have an income. And so it was not only an incredibly wonderful practical thing that he could do, but I know that it made Warren and everyone that has worked on the show and including me just feel held in something special. Your response was just really beautiful. So I know that from all of us at Cue the Music, we thank you from the bottom of your hearts for your kind generosity. And we really look forward to the months ahead when we can all come out of lockdown and get this show back up and on the road. And we look forward to seeing you in all various parts of the country where this show will hopefully reach you. And I look forward personally to seeing you there as well. So please stay safe, get through this well, look after yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Many thanks again. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, well first of all I'm going to follow Caroline's beautiful message and say a massive thank you for the Bond community and the Q Music fans and everybody else that contributed and chipped in our hour of need. And I think it's really important that I think it maybe kind of got a little bit lost for you to understand that your help was the immediate help that was needed for the musicians that lost 3 months worth of income with nothing for the government. And even now the self-employed thing is such a set of hoops they have to jump through. I don't think that many of them are getting any or much out of that at all. So that money that you contributed was literally helping the guys in the band who needed to put food on the table do that. And it was lovely because there's probably around about 50 people involved in the show in terms of all the band and Deps and the crew and other people involved in the show. And everybody had their own situation. You know, some people in the band were not in immediate problems, like myself. I'm not in immediate problems of paying a mortgage and putting food on the table. But there were plenty of people in the band that were literally terrified because they just didn't know how they were going to, put anything, didn't have money for anything. So that's what that fundraising was about. It wasn't about the show. And the show itself, which is a company in its own right, I mean, it's registered, you can go and check it and Google it, the London Showband Limited. It's been limited for 7 years. The show's been going for 15, 16 years I've been doing it. It's never made a profit in its entire history. I've never taken a bean of a wage from it in the 7 years it's been a limited company. Because I've always done it because I love it. And we were in a situation this year where I was hoping, and that was, going to change. And this has all thrown it into massive doubt, really. And unfortunately, I wanted to leave this longer, but I have to come to you for help for the show, because if left unchecked, we won't survive this period. The situation is so grim. From a point of view of a company, we're not entitled to anything that the government has announced. No grants, no arts funding, no furlough schemes. No, the only thing that we can get is a loan. And as the reports have been in the press, that people are being offered 40% interest rate, and I'd have to, as director, guarantee my house against it. And we already have loans as well in the company. And I have actually looked into that. I'm still waiting for them to get back to me, but it's not an ideal situation. The fact is that the show costs so much to run. I've always put the quality above everything else of the show, and I could dial things back, and I could cut the quality back and make money out of it and rinse every penny I can out of the company. But it's never been about that for me. I've always wanted people to go to the show and come away going, wow, that's the best thing I've ever seen. Or at least come away having had a fantastic night. And anyone watching this video will hopefully support that. That's largely, I think, what happens. But the result of that is that we often run at either a loss or break even at best. And it's kind of a mixture of things, of some of the shows that do well and the private events that kind of prop all of that up. But we are on such a teetering on the brink a lot of the time that something like this is just going to absolutely bury us. And the situation is that we had our largest tour ever planned, as you know. All of the advertising budget that we had for this year, at least at the start to promote the tour for the year, was all spent in December and January. The working capital that would come in from the shows over this period would have then paid for us to then promote the shows going forward. The situation is that all of that has now gone. And not only that, all the money we spent on advertising, print and programs, again, all of that's gone. I mean, Facebook ads, my running total on Facebook ads is in the region of about £30,000 plus now that I've spent on the Facebook ads cumulatively. So the run rate is really high. And we have nothing now. We have absolutely nothing. That is absolutely, completely, this situation has cleaned us out. We've lost £30,000 worth of events over 3 months. So Q the Music is in grave danger. And I've said to you before, I totally understand that we're not the only ones in the situation, that pretty much everyone watching this video will be affected by this situation themselves in one way or another, everyone, and they're all going to be different degrees of how badly it's hit you. But I feel I have to tell you the situation, and although I wanted to leave it further down the line because you've all just chipped in amazingly generous amounts of money for the musicians in the band, the fact is that if I don't do something about it now, Cue the Music is not going to be able to get up and running again after this situation rises, after the ban is lifted. And if I just turned up with one of these videos one day and said, I'm really sorry guys, we've done everything we can, but that's it, Cue the Music's gone under, I know that many of you would want to know the situation and would want to help. And so I feel that as much as it's really, really difficult for me to come back to you and ask for more help, I feel that I need to, because I know that it means so much to so many of you out there. And you all know how much it means to me, and you know how much it means to Kerry and the guys in the band, Matt, everybody. It means so much to us, and we don't want to lose Cue the Music, because it's always been about, first and foremost, about spreading the love of Bond, spreading love of Bond music, but it's been about your enjoyment as Bond fans. It's always been about putting a smile on your face and the joy that we see at the end of the shows when we stand out in the foyer and people come out and you see the looks on their faces. It's a feeling that you just can't replicate, you know, to the point that I'm in the process of giving up another career to come and do this full time. And you know, now you have to kind of go, is it the right thing to do? But there's so much still that I want to do with Cue the Music. There's so many cues that we haven't done. We're in the process of scoring a new set of cues, more than 50 cues that we're working on right now to bring to you that we've never done before. As well as that, I still really want to do some whole live soundtracks on Majesty's Secret Service. That's definitely in the pipeline, to do a concert of all the music from that film. Diamonds Are Forever. I thought we were getting so much closer. I really thought we'd be coming to the US in 2021. I thought we were getting to the point where we could make that happen. And Scotland's another one we always get asked about. Going into Europe, we had some concerts lined up in Belgium and other places we were working on. And they were so close, and now they seem so far away again. But it is going to be a case of coming back to you, the community, if you want to keep Cue the Music going. I know that puts a lot of pressure onto you. It kind of, I don't want to feel like it absolves my responsibility, but I've done all I can with it. So much of the time I've propped up Cue the Music. You know, I've put everything on the line on more than one occasion. As anyone that's followed the show for a long time will know, you know, me and my wife have put everything on the line on more than one occasion to keep Cue the Music going. Everything. But I can't do that again this time. I just can't. I'm not in that position to do it. I have 2 young children. So, yeah, we are in a situation where we need your help. And I've got to come to you and ask for it. So that's where we are. I'm so sorry to have to ask you, because I know that all of you have got your own problems and your own issues, but we're not ready to pack it in yet. We don't want to go down without a fight. So yeah, I'm here holding up my white flag, asking for your help. Whatever you can do will be appreciated, and whatever you already did. I mean, some of the contributions that were made for the musician was absolutely mind-bogglingly generously, just phenomenal generosity. It took my breath away, it really did. And I saw it all coming in, and I thought, do you know what? We're going to need to come back and ask for more for the show. This is just the musicians. This is just for the guys in the band. And I thought, I can't come back again. But here I am. And it's, you know, it's difficult from a pride point of view. It's very, very hard to come back and ask you for more money when the world is in the situation it is, that I know that all of you are in the situation that you are. We have our Patreon scheme, and we have our amazingly generous Patreons, and those costs, they literally just keep the show going. I mean, I'm going off a bit of a tangent here, but one of the things that people always ask about is about CDs and the DVDs and stuff like that. it's not financially worth it for us to sell a CD, to be honest. It's really not. If I sell a CD for £20, we lose 20% to VAT, we lose couple of quid to the actual printing of the CD, we lose money to the PRS that we have to pay on it, which is absolutely fair enough. I'm not complaining about that, but the theatres all keep a commission, usually 20-25% of the CD sale plus VAT. So by the time you've taken all of that out, from say a £20 CD, we end up with about £4 or £5, and then that doesn't cover any of the costs of actually recording the CD, and if there's a DVD, getting in the filming crew and the editing of all of that, and then you've got the mixing of it, and that's without the fact that actually I should be paying the musicians a cut of the CD sale, and it's only because of their generosity that a lot of the time they say, look Warren, just don't worry about it, keep the money, put it in the show. But we're talking pennies. Oh yeah, and then I have to pay someone to stand and sell the CDs at the show. So that's why we have the Patreon scheme. That kind of just keeps the material coming out. That keeps all the costs of the accounting and the insurances and the website costs and the van costs and the loans that we already have in place. All the PA equipment that we have. There's so many running costs for a show like this. So much running costs. And then there's all the advertising as well. So this fund is going to be about the advertising, which will put the show back on the road again. And without it, and even with it, it's going to be so hard. When the ban gets lifted and the doors to the theatres open again, there is going to be a really difficult transition period. Every producer I'm talking to in the business is saying the same thing. It's going to be really, really tough. So, yeah, as I say again, we're here, I'm here asking for your help. We want to keep it going. We really want to bring you more Bond goodness. There's so much more that we want to do over the next 3 or 4 years. Q Music isn't going to go forever anyway. You know, it's our 20th anniversary in 4 years. It kind of feels like that's our journey. I feel that this is a finite thing, but not yet. So I hope that you can support us. I hope you can make the most of what we've got left to give, because there's so much more. And thank you for your continued support. And I wish you all well. Stay safe. And we'll see you on the other side, hopefully, back in the theatres.